Welcome to Hollywood World. In this video, we're going deep into the hidden confessions of one of America's most iconic voices, Linda Ronstadt. Known for her powerhouse vocals and emotional range, Linda dominated the charts from the 70s through the 90s. But behind the music and the Grammys, there were personal feuds, bitter rivalries, and some unforgettable clashes. Today, at 75, Linda finally opens up about the 12 musicians she could never stand, whether it was jealousy, betrayal, or artistic differences. So buckle up as we reveal the names that shocked the industry. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. 1. Don Henley. Linda Ronstadt and Don Henley, both Southern California music icons, should have had perfect harmony. But according to Linda, Henley's massive ego and his tendency to dismiss female artists rubbed her the wrong way. She reportedly once said, "Don acts like he invented the West Coast sound, but forgot who helped build it." Tensions escalated during their shared years in the LA rock scene, especially when members of the Eagles began distancing themselves from their early collaborators, including Linda. Though she praised Henley's talent, she made it clear she wanted no part of his smug energy. 2. Jim Morrison. While the world hailed Jim Morrison as a poetic genius, Linda Ronstadt saw only chaos. She encountered him a few times in the late 60s and early 70s, and she wasn't impressed. He was loud, drunk, and always looking for a fight, she said in a rare backstage interview. To Linda, Morrison represented the kind of male rock star who dominated conversations and disrespected women behind the scenes. He didn't respect musicians who weren't like him, she noted. And I was never going to fit into that mold. 3. Frank Zappa. Linda had a strong distaste for Frank Zappa's brand of avant-garde rock. She once joked, "If I wanted to be confused and insulted by noise, I'd just listen to a jackhammer." Their brief encounters in the Los Angeles music scene were reportedly awkward, as Zappa viewed mainstream artists like Linda as corporate puppets, while she saw him as elitist and rude. Zappa once tried to recruit her for a project, but she declined, later saying, he thought he was smarter than everyone else. "That's not someone I work with." 4. David Crosby. Linda Ronstadt and David Crosby shared friends and stages, but their personalities clashed. Crosby's drug-fueled arrogance and condescending tone during the height of Crosby, Stills and Nash didn't sit well with Linda. She recounted a time he told her, "You're wasting your voice on pop music," which only hardened her resolve to succeed. In her words, David always talked down to women in the industry. "I wasn't going to smile and nod like others did." They remained civil in public, but the coldness between them was palpable at music festivals and backstage hangouts. 5. Bob Dylan. Yes, even the legendary Bob Dylan didn't escape Linda Ronstadt's sharp honesty. While she admired his songwriting, she found him impossibly arrogant in person. Their first meeting reportedly ended with Dylan criticizing her singing style as too polished, and Linda firing back that he sounded like a drunk scarecrow. Ronstadt later told Rolling Stone, "Bob always walked into a room like he was better than everyone else. He wasn't interested in collaboration, just control." Though she respected his legacy, she avoided working with him again. 6. Elton John. Their feud shocked many, but Linda Ronstadt and Elton John had a strained friendship that soured in the late 70s. The trouble started when Elton reportedly mocked Linda's weight gain during a party, not realizing she was in earshot. "He tried to laugh it off, but I never forgot," she revealed. Elton later apologized, but Linda kept her distance. "I don't care how many feathers he wears. If you disrespect me once, you don't get a second chance," she said. They never worked together again, despite numerous fan hopes. 7. Janice Joplain. Linda and Janice Joplain were often compared, two powerhouse female vocalists rising in a male-dominated world. But instead of bonding, they clashed. Linda felt Janice was reckless, self-destructive, and cruel during personal encounters. She once screamed at me for being a pretty puppet, just because I didn't do drugs or scream on stage, Linda said. But I never wanted to be Janice. I just wanted to sing. Despite her admiration for Janice's talent, the two women never reconciled before Joplain's untimely death. 8. Glenn Frey. Glenn Frey, co-founder of the Eagles, got his start as one of Linda Ronstadt's backing musicians, but according to her, he never showed gratitude. The second they made it big, he stopped returning my calls, Linda once remarked. She especially resented the way Frey allegedly tried to rewrite history, minimizing Ronstadt's role in shaping the band's early sound. He acted like they did it alone. That wasn't just disrespectful, it was dishonest, she added. Frey's slick showbiz attitude clashed with Linda's earthy, no-nonsense approach. 9. Eric Clapton. When Linda Ronstadt toured Europe in the late 70s, she crossed paths with Eric Clapton, and it wasn't pleasant. He thought I should be flattered when he hit on me. I was just grossed out, she admitted. Clapton allegedly criticized her performance style, calling it too American and too feminine. That didn't sit well with Linda, who had spent years battling sexism in the industry. She later said, Eric Clapton was the kind of rock god who thought every woman should be grateful for his attention. I wasn't. 10. Ted Nugent. Linda Ronstadt had zero tolerance for Ted Nugent's macho posturing and right-wing rants. She once called him the loudest, dumbest voice in a room full of insecure men. Their feud wasn't just personal, it was political. Nugent insulted her repeatedly in interviews, especially when Linda became outspoken on liberal causes. She hit back hard, saying, I'd rather sing in silence than share a stage with that man. Their mutual dislike remains one of the most well-documented rock rivalries. 11. Phil Spector. Though known for his revolutionary wall of sound, Phil Spector was a musical giant Linda Ronstadt wanted nothing to do with. She called him a genius trapped inside a monster, and refused to work with him after hearing stories of his abusive behavior toward women artists. When someone uses power to control, manipulate, and destroy people's lives, it's not just business, it's evil, she stated. Ronstadt turned down multiple offers from Spector, even when he guaranteed radio hits. It's not worth your soul, she later told a younger artist. 12. Mick Jagger. While fans might assume Linda Ronstadt and Mick Jagger were part of the same counterculture royalty, Linda found him annoyingly full of himself. At a party in 1978, she said Jagger joked about her ballads putting him to sleep. I laughed, but I didn't forget, she said. She also criticized his treatment of women in public and private. I didn't find the whole strutting rooster thing sexy. I found it embarrassing, she said in her memoir. Though she respected the Rolling Stones' music, she kept Jagger at a professional arm's length for decades. So there you have it, the 12 musicians Linda Ronstadt couldn't stand, even as the rest of the world idolized them. Whether it was ego, disrespect, or outright cruelty, these artists pushed Linda away, and she never looked back. It just goes to show that even in the glamorous world of rock and roll, not everyone gets along. Sometimes, the biggest voices clash the loudest. If you enjoyed this trip through music history, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Hollywood World, and drop a comment telling us which celebrity feud shocked you the most. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.